How you guys doing? My name is Jason Lyden. I'm from CrossFit Milford, and we're going to be going through the movements that are going to be involved in the pit at the CMC. The kettlebell swing is an absolute beast of a movement to throw into a workout, especially a run. What we're going for in the pit is a kettlebell that's completely overhead, arms are straight, and your ear is showing from the side. This is our judging at the pit. This is what the judges will be looking for. Anything that does not look like that will not be counted. So as you train the kettlebell, we're going overhead, not shoulder height. All right, now Caleb right here is gonna pick that kettlebell up and he's gonna hold it overhead just so you can see where we want it. Go ahead and pause. Okay, so what you can see, arms are straight, kettlebell's overhead, ears showing from the side, okay? This is the overhead position that we're looking for in the kettlebell swing. We want that kettlebell straight up overhead, arms straight, ear showing from the side. That's what your judge is going to be looking for. That's a good rep. You want your feet a little bit outside shoulder width, okay? Your toes can be angled slightly out, or you can have your toes a little bit straighter. Both positions are correct. In both instances, what you want to look at from a knee perspective is having the knee track your toe. You don't want to put extra stress on your knees, your hips, or your heels, especially if you're running a long course when you come out of the pit. Now turn to the side for me, please. Now let's take a look at a few things from this angle. Shoulder positioning. We have the shoulders pulled back. You can see that there's no internal rotation with that shoulder joint, okay? And what I'm talking about there is this. You don't want to get in a situation where that weight is controlling you. It's pulling your shoulder forward, thus rounding your upper back, okay? That's what you want to avoid. And to avoid that, pull these shoulders back in that setup position, almost like you're pinching a pencil or whatever you want to have back there between your shoulder blades. You can see the butt positioning, the hips are pushed back, okay, and what that's doing is activating the hamstring muscle. And then this bottom position, he's also squeezing his glutes, okay? And that's protecting his knee and that's protecting his back. You never want to be in a bottom position and be completely relaxed and rounded. Round your back. Yeah, this is what we want to avoid, okay? So let's posture back up, proper positioning here. So this is the first step. The way you can train that when you're at home and you've never done a kettlebell swing before, is this first work on getting into that position. So what we're gonna do for that, pull your shoulder blades back, hands on your legs, and all I want you to do is push your butt back, slide your hands down to the top of your knee. Boom, there you go, stand back up, shoulders back, hands on your thighs, slide them down to the top of the knee. Boom, that's what we're looking for every single time. You can do that a few times a night just to train your body, getting to that position of that hip going back, knee bending slightly, all right? And that's important, hip back, slight knee bend and down. Good. Shoulders and chest come in front. Now the next step with this kettlebell swing, what I'm gonna have Caleb do, he's gonna take his hands from his knees and we're gonna put those hands between his legs. Go ahead. And let's first face the camera, please. Bottom position, hands between his legs. And you can see what's happening with his arms is that they're loose, right? They're kind of just like straps, so like ropes holding onto that kettlebell. And that's important because in this movement, your arms, your shoulders are not lifting that kettlebell up. What's raising that kettlebell is that power through the hip and the midline, okay? And that's important to remember. Now from this step, the next thing I'm gonna have Caleb do is basically start involving his hip. So from here, he's gonna extend his hips violently straight up, and that's gonna raise his arms up. And we're gonna start just going shoulder height, and that's what we're looking for. Go ahead, let's do a few of those. Boom. He has that hip extension coming up, his body's coming completely vertical at the top position, his shoulders are staying pulled back, and his arms are just swinging. Let's rotate to the side, Caleb, and repeat. Hip comes back, shoulders and chest go slightly forward, arms go through the legs at the bottom, he extends his hips up, and that kettlebell just raises up, and eventually you're gonna work on getting it up overhead, right? I know lots of people do a kettlebell swing to the shoulder height. We're judging overhead, don't forget that. Your eyesight is always gonna follow the nipple line. So as you push your hips back, bring your shoulders and chest forward, eyesight follows nipple line, let your arms hang, and from here, you're gonna stand up, open the hips, and let that kettlebell just keep rising up and letting your arms swing right back down. Notice a few other things when we talk about body positioning. Let's just do a few from the side for me. Go ahead. And start swinging your arms. Shoulders stay pulled back. Very important to keep in mind. That kettlebell, that weight is not controlling you. You don't ever want to get in a situation where your shoulders get completely internally rotated and you have this rounded back. And you don't want to completely collapse at the hip. Both those instances can cause back pain, and if you're leaving the pit with some long distance to run, that's not going to be fun. Protect your back, and you can protect your back by keeping these shoulders pinched, keeping that hip back, keeping that hamstring and glute activation for the movement. And keep going, Caleb, a few more. Now, as he's coming up, you can't see it from the camera angle, but he's squeezing his butt, all right? Try to make a diamond. Something I like to do is called prison defense. Right, so as you raise that kettlebell up, you're squeezing the butt. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna trigger some response in your brain to keep your back from hyperextending. And show me a hyperextension hold. Boom. Hold it. That is not good. Relax. Two ways you can hurt your back in any movement: excessive flexion or excessive extension. If you have that excessive extension in the kettlebell swing, your back will not be happy with you. A quick way that you can train your body to avoid that is, like I said, squeeze that butt as you raise up, and that's going to help you keep a more hollow position overhead. Hollow positioning is meaning a straight line from that shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, straight down, okay? Avoid that extension, avoid the excessive flexion. Notice what's happening with the weight in hand and before when he didn't have the weight in hand. Nothing. Shoulders are pulled back in that downward motion. He pushes the hip back, brings his shoulders and chest slightly in front of that kettlebell. Knees are tracking the toes. As he raises that kettlebell up, squeezing his glutes, keeping that hollow position through the midline with that weight overhead. And relax, thank you. Hollow positioning through the midline again. You're keeping that butt squeezed tight. Your abs are completely engaged overhead, so you're not relaxing that stomach, getting into that extension or flexion state with that kettlebell raised, okay? I'm gonna show a few wrong ways to do the kettlebell swing so you know if you see yourself do this, you can correct it. First thing that we're gonna do is a complete fold over from the hip. You can see everything's pretty neutral spine, shoulders are pulled back for the most part. He's still pushing his hips back, but he has that excessive flexion at that hip, which will cause over time back pain. And relax. This is a great cueing for you using too much of your arms. If you're using a lot of that front delt, a lot of that shoulder to raise that kettlebell up and you're not using the hip to drive it through, this is gonna happen to the kettlebell, okay? So if you see this motion happen, you wanna relax the shoulder and get more hip drive, getting that kettlebell up. Now, for beginners, a great way to train your body of using the hip to raise the kettlebell is to keep that kettlebell swing low. Okay, so what Caleb's gonna do is a few very low swings, just getting that kettlebell moving. Yep, and that's just working on that hip extension, okay? Training his body to do it correctly. From there, he's gonna raise up a little higher. Notice that kettlebell is pretty much an extension of his hand, and then from there, he'll go a little higher, right? And relax. A great way to train the body with proper techniques. Start off small, from there, slowly work your way up a little higher. From there, work up a little higher, keeping all the mechanics the same.